So the NFL draft has commenced. The first 2 days are done. And the third round is currently going underway right now. So it's safe to say a lot of the main picks have already been written in the history books. Now for the Giants, with the third pick, it was only going to go in a couple of different directions, right? It was either going to be, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, who's getting a lot of steam in the past week, or I guess Cam Ward if he fell, or I guess Shedeur Sanders, which we'll speak on in a minute. And, they ended up taking not Shedeur Sanders, they ended up taking Abdul Carter, right? So, the Browns, they traded back the pick with Jacksonville. Jacksonville traded up to the number 2 spot and took Travis Hunter. I wanted Travis Hunter. That didn't happen. It's fine. He's very talented. He was going to go basically early as heck. And after that, Giants get Abdul Carter, right? I think they were very set on taking Abdul Carter for the past week. They wanted a generational pass rusher. A lot of people have the problem that, he has a dip. All he has is one move to get to the quarterback. I mean, okay, he's in college. It was his first year playing that type of position. So he still has all the athleticism to play that position, and he's going to learn in the NFL. You put him with really good pass rushers like Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, even that entire front line right there, Dexter Lawrence. Now we just got Darius Alexander. Now he's going to learn a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to learn how to play really well. And he also has experience with middle linebacker as well. So he's very versatile, right? That's what he used to play, kind of similar to Micah Parsons. So, and this is the same thing back in 2007. We had a dominant front seven, but then we ended up drafting another edge rusher in that draft, first overall. So, it's not really a replacement to Kayvon Thibodeau, but you're just adding on to the front seven. So now you can switch them out, and you still got high-end talent all around. And it's going to be really difficult for quarterbacks to come. So I really like that pick. Again, it was really expected. So there's not much of like a reaction. Like, we're third overall pick. We had a shitty season last year. So, again, very exciting. I really like Abdul Carter, right? Top pick, generational pass rusher. I think he's going to be great. I think he has to chill out with asking LT to retire the number, bro. No. Okay, stop. LT is the greatest defensive player of all time. I don't know what it is, but people saying they want to unretire the number. Just no. Just relax. Other than that, I like it. I like the pick. It was great. Now, the next pick is where it gets interesting. Because, Giants didn't have another first-round pick, but they traded back into the first round and to the pick number 25, which is one pick ahead of the Rams, and they went ahead and selected Jaxson Dart. Yes, Jaxson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. That's supposedly Brian Dable's guy. Okay. Call him the Walmart Logan Paul. Call him the blonde Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? He is going to be the future quarterback of the New York Giants. He's coming to a team with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston already, and obviously Tommy DeVito. So he's really just going to be sitting for 1 year. Obviously there's a lot of developmental things that he needs to work on, but that's perfect because he's going to sit behind Russell Wilson, another Hall of Fame quarterback, and he's going to have a whole year to learn the system, form connections with the guys, learn from Russell Wilson, and yeah, I think it's really great. Initially, I wasn't a great fan of the pick, right? Like everyone else, I was on the Shedeur Sanders kind of train now at this point, just by hearing his name over and over, even though I really initially wasn't a fan of Shedeur Sanders. But now seeing how Shedeur Sanders is falling, that's insane to me. So, but now you think about it, you hear all these draft rumors that, oh, he did really horrible in the meetings, he was unprepared, overconfident, and that's just the same thing in all job professions, right? If you're going for an interview, like for a normal job, the same thing with me. You can't just go in cocky and overconfident because you're trying to be there. You're trying to go into the job so that they can pay you, right? You need them more than they need you. So you obviously got to put a face on. You got to fabricate some things. You got to be well prepared. Got to look nice, dress nice, answer their questions. You got to tell them why you want to work at the company, why you want to do this, what can you help them accomplish, right? Why your skill sets can help them. And you got to be prepared, right? I've failed interviews. I've passed interviews. It's a learning process. It's the same thing with the NFL, right? These coaches and these organizations, they bring in these prospects and they question them. They have these interviews. You want to see you're a fit. We all know you're a great player, but are you a good fit? And from the reports, it's like, well, if you're unprepared and you're overconfident, like, it just goes to show you're gonna be hard to work with. Like, look at what they're doing with Kyler Murray. You know, they have a clause in the contract that he's got to study film. And there's only so much that your talent can like cover, right? If you're not that talented, it's not gonna really mean a whole lot. If you're also hard to work with. He also went like what 0-7, 1-7 against ranked teams in college as well. So it's like, oh well, his arm isn't great. So if his talent isn't really that great and he's really difficult to work with, and he didn't throw out the draft combine, Senior Bowl, whatever, it's just like very arrogant. And that's not a person you really want on your team. Same thing with me. Like, so what if I decline my own interview for my job interview? And they're like, well, I'm too good for the job. What's the company going to do? All right, we'll move on to the next person. Someone we're going to work with. It's all a vibe check. And he didn't pass the vibe check. So it's just what it is. And Jaxson Dart passed with flying colors. I don't know if anyone saw that sit down with John Gruden. The kid's really smart. It's Brian Dable's guy, right? Brian Dable really liked him. Dable's a smart guy, smart coach, right? He knows quarterbacks. He knows what he's doing. He's a quarterback whisperer. So if this is Brian Dable's guy, I believe it. I trust in him. It's as simple as that. He's got a strong arm. He's mobile quarterback. He can throw it all across the field. He's hype. He has a lot of aura. Let's be honest. A lot more than Daniel. A huge upgrade over Daniel Jones, and he's gonna have a year to develop under a great sort of system right now. Malik Neighbors, Russell Wilson. I think it's gonna be great. Just give the kid a chance. You know what I mean? So, and they threw a dart at the board, pun intended. They threw a dart at the board. Took a chance on a QB. It doesn't work out next year. Next year after that. Next year after that. You keep drafting quarterbacks, which is the way you want to go. So not only did they get a player that they could win right now with Abdul Carter, but now you got the QB for the future as well. So they kind of did a double whammy on that, which is nice. And now they just got Cam Scadabo in the 4th round, which is going to be great. You got that running back duo with Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadabo, which is great. Cam Scadabo is a great running back. So Joe Shane's cooking. I like it so far. This is great. Let me know your thoughts about your team. I'm going to make much more videos. Peace.